I was watching this video on Instagram the other day, and it kind of made me think of this topic. And basically, the premise of the topic was, why is it cringy to try? And it was a video of ASAP Rocky, if you know who that is. And if you don't know who that is, I probably think you live under a rock because he is a pretty big rapper nowadays. And I used to listen to him a lot in high school. And I don't know, it was kind of like one of those like motivational videos, I guess, but I'll just rephrase it for you, or if I can find the video or like the exact quote. Basically, what he was saying, quote unquote, was that how are you going to knock somebody in the world for actually trying to do something? Trying. Since when has it become not cool to try? And I kind of thought to myself about this statement because I do like his music and I used to listen to him a lot in high school. And I kind of thought about it, and that's a very true statement. And I want to say that might have to do with like psychological projection or something along those lines. And like, I don't know, this year I've been looking more cringy, I guess you could say, just because I've been getting more into content creation and I don't really know how it all works. So I'm just making a fool of myself. And when you don't know when something like how something works, you just look stupid in general and it doesn't really matter. And when you start content creation, you're talking to a camera, you're doing weird things on camera because I mean, especially nowadays, because you have to like really stand out just to like gain someone's attention. Like you have to say either absurd something, like absurd phrases, or just something out of pocket, or the video itself is out of pocket, or you're funny, or you're providing value, or whatever it is when it comes to content creation. And that's just kind of how you learn, is just by doing, because you could read as many books as you want, you can look at as many tutorials as you want, and you're never going to really learn anything until you actually try. So you really have to embarrass yourself every time you do something like this, whether it is any kind of new skill or anything along those lines. Because trust me, I do feel cringy making these videos, and I think to myself that I just feel like a freaking idiot half the time, even if these videos, like, I don't know, that's just kind of how it all works. Like, these types of videos where the camera's like off, even like with these ones that I'm doing right now, when the camera's off, I still kind of feel weird about it, but it is easier to do because I'm not necessarily on camera. I just kind of have to think of like what to say and how to say things and like pacing and stuff like that, especially when you start getting more into YouTube. And it's just something you have to practice and get better at, like any other thing in this world. And I have a few friends calling me cringy, but I don't really care because I feel like most of them don't even watch my stuff. And I mean, it's kind of a necessity if you really want to make it into anything creative, is that you kind of have to go into content creation. And you just have to make things that you really like making, because if you like what you make, then you're probably going to put more effort into it instead of just like following trends all the time or like putting your own spin on things. And I know my friends are probably just giving me banter and I don't really care that much. Or maybe they do think I'm cringy and I just look stupid in their eyes. But I don't know, maybe I just need some new friends. If I have to look cringy as a means to an end, anyways, or like if I want to do something in life that requires having to look cringy, I'm probably going to do it anyways because I don't know. I'm already kind of cringy and weird anyways. So like, I don't really know what the problem is. Like, I want to do what I want to do in life. With like, it's just a means to an end. Like, that's all it is. And personally, you got me fucked up if you think I'm going to work for someone else for the rest of my life and not do what I want to do in this lifetime. Like, I'm 27 years old. I feel like I've already kind of wasted some of my life just fucking smoking weed and doing drugs and stuff like that. And I don't want to keep doing that all the time anymore. Like, I went to college for 4 years and I still had no idea what I was doing in there until like the last year. And I kind of figured out what I actually wanted to do in my life. And it took me years to actually get to where I want to be and like actually put myself out there to the point where I feel comfortable, because I don't want to look like a freaking idiot all the time. And like, oh, here's a new song I posted and it's just complete garbage. So I kind of just like went silent for 2 years, 2 or 3 years, and just, worked on art. I worked on music. I worked on a bunch of other things to the point where like I felt comfortable like posting my work because I believe people thought it would be good. And honestly, it did work. But sometimes there are people out there who will just post from the very beginning because they just do not care. And if you are that person, I wish I was you back in the day, because I feel like I would be way farther along than I am nowadays. But it is what it is, and I'm doing it now, and that's all I can do. And I don't want to work for someone else for the rest of my life and be a bystander, because I believe I'm meant to do what I want to do in this life and when I want, because I cannot stand working for someone else anyways. And I'm just way too stubborn, and I enjoy my freedom as much as it is. If I want to use my time doom scrolling, then I want to use my time doom scrolling. If I want to use my time playing guitar, making music, making art, making clothes, or whatever it is, then that's all I want to do. Like, I just want to enjoy my freedom. Plus, I don't really care if people view me as cringy anyways, because I don't know. I just learned to dissociate from a lot of people's comments and what people think of me, even if it's my own close friends and family, because in reality, I'm already pretty weird and cringy. So why does it even matter? Plus, I believe most people are weird and cringy. They just don't really show it to the camera and have the whole world to see them. Because if you kind of think about it, if they're by themselves and no one is watching, because that's the only place where you don't have to wear a mask. Like, you are fully by yourself. You're probably talking to yourself. You're probably like stimming out and making weird noises, because that's what I do. And I don't know, people are just weird in general. Like, if you just watch people, like people watch, you understand that people are kind of weird, and that's just how we are. And it just does not matter. It's odd because the people who are bystanders and don't even try are the ones always calling you out or calling you cringy or whatever it is, and it's most likely like psychological projection, in my opinion. Unless it's some crazy behavior, then it can be justified, because there are people on social media that do some crazy stuff out there, like I don't know, take food from a convenience store or whatever it is. And I remember back in the day, probably all of middle school and high school, you really cared about what other people thought of you. But now I'm just like, why should I even care? Because I'm going to die anyways, and all of this is going to be irrelevant whether I make it or not. And then what? At least I have, like, at least I can say that I tried or something, instead of like having to regret my life. And that's like a no can do for me. I was never really a try hard or anything in school, which is kind of annoying to me, but I can't go back and change it. But because I mean, I did well in school, but like I was never a try hard. And I remember like being in high school and everything, everyone was always trying to knock each other down for either getting good grades or actually trying in gym class and like trying to get a good mile, or like, lifting well. And I don't know, it's just something that never really made sense to me. But that's just high school. I mean, school in general, and maybe even college too, and probably even college too. It's like in school where everyone is just sheep, and like, I don't know, not much actually changes when you get into the real world. Everyone's kind of the same. Like, everyone is programmed to think that way, and anyone like trying to get out of this like 9 to 5 bullcrap corporation bullcrap is considered cringy for some reason. Like, I don't want to live that life. Why is that such a big problem to people? I don't really understand for some reason. But I don't know. My advice is just to be cringy and at least try to not harm others in the process. But you're going to annoy some people, and that's just how it is. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's just how it is with life. And that's totally fine by me. And I don't know, just do what you want. I don't have time to think about what others think of me. That's a lot of work. And my brain wants to think about other things like ideas and, new artwork or new music or whatever it is. I got things to do, places to see, and faces to see. And I hope you're feeling the same way. And that's all I got to talk about today, guys. Peace.